Changes to flexible working rules. Around 4 years on from the height of the pandemic, many colleagues work flexibly with some days a week at home and others in offices across Scotland. It works well at our firm, not least because my colleagues are used to collaborating remotely and much of the procedural elements of, for example, employment tribunals continue to be held online. That said, the success of this approach depends on a range of factors and it is a topic, particularly in relation to remote working, a popular type of flexible working, that has turned out to be divisive. No matter your view though, change is coming and as an employer, you'll need to factor that into your decision-making process. So what are the changes? There are 3 main changes now in effect since April 2024. First of all, the right to work flexibly is now a day one right, meaning employees won't have to wait until they have 26 weeks service. Employees can also make 2 requests to work flexibly in a 12-month period, rather than 1 request as per the previous rule. Employers will need to consult with the employee before they reject the request. What has remained the same is the type of request employees can make, including reducing their hours and also working from home. The grounds for rejecting requests remain broad and include additional costs as well as not being able to reorganise work amongst other staff. And businesses asking employees to return to the workplace aren't likely to encounter problems if that decision is evidence-based and is flexible enough to accommodate exceptions such as childcare. The flexible working business case. There isn't a single approach that suits all businesses. However, many organisations have adopted some form of flexible working, such as the hybrid approach. According to a CIPD report from last year, 83% of organisations have hybrid working in place, with 45% having a formal policy. The CIPD also says in that document its research shows flexible working is important for job seekers, while it can be an important element for job satisfaction. The potential for a surge in legal challenges. If there are no robust systems to monitor, consider and respond to such requests, there is a risk that this may result in employment tribunal claims, which can be raised during a period of employment, around an employer's failure to properly consider flexible working requests. So the employer must make reasonable adjustments. Employers will also have to be mindful of potential Equality Act 2010 challenges to any attempt to change working arrangements. If returning to the office, for example, would pose a challenge for a disabled employee. Making a request for reasonable adjustments is a right of any disabled employee, and caution should be taken in dismissing such a request too lightly. Indeed, the employer has a positive obligation to explore reasonable adjustments, if it is aware of the disability and the disadvantage it puts the employee at, whether or not the employee has made that request. Another example would be indirect sex discrimination. Potentially, a female employee could argue that a refusal to allow home working amounts to indirect sex discrimination. This is on the basis that the need to spend time travelling to and from work makes childcare more difficult, and women more often have the primary responsibility for childcare. In short, flexible working has its staunch advocates and equally resolute detractors, but one thing's for sure, it is here to stay. Please get in touch if you have any questions about the legal aspects of flexible working.